Hey, what's up, guys? Today we'll be talking about Blades, Redtone, and Neural DSP NTS. So sit back and enjoy and watch me lose my mind. Thank you. Alright, guys, what's going on? So, yeah, let me try to make this video to the best that I know how. It's kind of a different type of video for me, pretty much. So I was reading on Vadim Taranov's Facebook group. This member, Luca, he goes by Luca DP, that's his profile name. And he stated more or less that people are using like NTS with different IRs and such. And how you really can't compare that to like Blades or Redtone. So I made this video to try to see how similar they are. And I did my best with the IR section that I'm going to show you, and also how these things sound when you use the cab section of the NTS suite, even though I would never do such a thing. But let me show you what I have going on, okay? And a lot of this is a little bit crazy as well. So yeah, let me show you what I have in these tracks real quick. On my master track, I'm running this Brainworks V3 EQ. Yeah, it looks pretty insane. It's kind of insane a little bit. But yeah, I figured I'd try to use this, so I did. Running into this Shadow Hills Class A mastering compressor. Just a little bit of compression, just on the discrete compressor though. I have the optical compressor completely bypassed. Then I'm going into this ozone imager just to give it a little bit stereo width. Even though these plugins right here, you can see that it does have that built in, as well as this right here. But nonetheless. And then finally, I'm going into this L2 limiter. All right, and then this just feeds into my OBS. That's all. So I'll let you hear these sections I have gated off. That's what we'll be hearing. So this is a mix. This is Ola's song that I have dried the eyes for, that I just put together in the Session of Reaper just for this video. And I thought it would be a pretty good mix to go over, since, you know, as you guys know, Ola did use a Satan amp. So I'm just using this. So for the drum portion, I'm running Easy Drummer 2 and this death metal kit and the scooped preset. Going into this SSL 4000E plugin by Brainworks. And pretty much what I'm doing here, I'm just using this EQ. That's it. Then I'm going into this plugin called the SPL Attacker. And what this does is it boosts. You can use this to boost low end, and that's what I'm doing right here. Even though, you know, I decided to use this because I am running parallel compression after the drums, but I know that's not really a good idea to do. But I did it anyway, because usually with the parallel drum compression, you really don't want to parallel compress the whole drum kit, right? It's really not a good idea to include cymbals in the drum parallel compression. But for this video, I did anyway. But I tried to not use so much parallel compression, and that's why I added this to the drum track. And that's the only reason why I really did. And then I'm going into this L3 limiter as well. All right, guys? So that's that. Then I'm running the drums into this track right here, because I'm doing a little bit of parallel drum compression. So yeah, this is a pretty nice compressor to do that. And again, you know, I have all these compressors, and people are like, well, how come you have so many compressors? And you know what? Because I'm an asshole. That's why. But yeah, I'm not really an asshole, but yeah, I have issues with VST plugins. And they do sound a little bit different from one another, but you don't need all these dynamic plugins. They're not necessary at all. But yeah, I like playing around with them, and that's why I have them. Alright, guys, so that's that. Then my bass track, right? I'm running this Neural DSP Parallax And it's on a preset called Pig in Shit 5. Okay? That's what that is. Here's a cab section for it. Then I'm running into this F6 Waves EQ. Because I high passed at about 80 hertz. I don't know why I did 18 dB cutoff, but I'm just going to leave it nonetheless. And then right here at this band right here, I boosted it about 500 hertz, just a little bit. I don't know, it sounded alright. It sounded nice to me, so I left it. Alright, then I went into this compressor again on a preset called Bass Tamer. Sounds pretty good. And then finally into this L3 limiter. So that's that. Now, this is where it gets crazy. So if you notice, I have this guitar bus right here. See? Right over here. And I have the left and right dry DI tracks that are paying 100% left and right feeding into that guitar bus. So, yeah, it goes into this guitar bus. Then I have a send going to this track right here, the last track, which includes pretty much my processing. So I have this EQ going on, but I also use the high pass and low pass filtering. I did use compression on it, no gating, and EQ. Then I went to the one of my favorite tonal EQs is Puig Tech EQ, boosted it and attenuate, as you see right here, at the 60 hertz band. That's all I'm doing right there, pretty much. I just like the tone that it gives you. And then into this limiter. So that's what's going on for the processing. And all the plugins, the Blades, the Redtone, and the NTS. So yeah, that's all that's going on. I'm not going to go back in here and monkey around with any of this. So let's go into the actual guitar bus where everything is, which is right here. So yeah, I have Blades, Redtone, and then I have the Fortin NTS. So I have these disengaged. I'm just have this hex drive engaged because the Blades and Redtone are pretty high gain amp. They're very high gainish, if you know what I'm saying. Pretty brutal amp sims from Vadim Taranov. And then I'm running this third-party IR loader, NetIR 2. And I'm running these impulse responses from Ola. This one right here is called Ola. It's a condenser negative 3B wave. That's what he called it. And on this side, I have a Ola dynamic negative 3B wave. And this is running in stereo as well. Yeah, and I high pass at 100, low pass at about 7400 hertz. So I'll be using these IRs to test out the Blades, Redtone, and Fortin. Yeah, Norton. It's late. The Fortin NTS. So I'm gonna let you hear how all three of these amps sound with these IRs, and then we're gonna see how these amps sound with the actual cab section of NTS. Now keep in mind that this Fortin NTS, the cab section right here, right now I have it off because I'm going to show you how it sounds with NetIR. This is the cab section. However, a lot of people get confused with these type of amp sims with impulse responses. And it is different. This right here is almost like a Miko plugin, right? Because you can move these mics around and such. You have your choice of, what mics you want to use. What's funny about this, though, is they only include one condenser mic, which is odd to me. And then you have these, 3 dynamic mics and 2 ribbon mics. I would have liked to see more condenser mics, because you get, for me anyway, I think that you get more tonal differences in condenser mics. But again, that's my opinion and my ears. So don't kill me on that. It's just my opinion. So yeah, So this is really not an IR loader, even though you can, you know, use your own IRs. So you could load your own IRs. However, if you load your own IR, you lose the functionality of positioning the mic like like you do in this cab section. So it's hard to compare like Vadim's amps with this, right? Because this really does not use impulse response. It has a cab section that you can move these mics around. But nonetheless, so let me let you hear how this sounds. Now I try to blend these amps as close as possible. You know what I'm saying? And believe it or not, I've been behind my DAW for at least 6 hours monkeying around in this mix. It's pretty difficult, let me tell you. You know, try it for yourselves, man. It's not easy at all. You know, especially trying to, you know, have a good mix and, you know, the master track as well. Because I mix and master in one session. I don't bounce out my mix and then bring it in to another session just to master. I do it all at the same time. And I also mix all my tracks at the same time. Like, I just play with all the tracks at the same time. I don't solo one area, mix, move on to the next area. No, I do it as one huge mix. And I think it works out better that way too. But you guys could do, you know, stuff how you like and how your workflow is easy for you. It's just how I do it, that's all. Alright, so let me shut up. Make sure my monitor speakers are off so my mic doesn't capture the sound. That's why I'm wearing these headphones. Alright, so I'm gonna let you hear some music now. So we're gonna start off with Blades. Alright? And I'll move on to the Redtone and then the Norton man, why do I keep saying Norton? Jeez. Fortin NTS. So let's start. Alright, Blades first. So yeah, that's how the Blades sounds like with you know, these IRs in a full mix with plugins, my master track, and the whole 9 yards. So I think that sounds fantastic. I really like the Blades amp sim. Vadim did a very good job on that. So this Blades amp sim, right? And it's supposed to emulate a Fortin Satan amp, right? That's what I get from him, and that's what I get from other people that use this amp sim. So I'm going to believe Vadim that it emulates a Satan amp. So that's it. That's it for that amp sim. So now we're going to move on to the Redtone. And this section, then I'll let you hear this section too. So let me bring up the Redtone. Okay, here we go. Redtone. As you notice, the settings, I tried to make the settings as close as possible. Like, if, you know, I'll show you real quick so that you guys, you know. So first you heard that Blades, and here's the Redtone. The settings are very similar, just a little bit different. And I had to do that so that I could kind of match the tone. And again, that was a bitch to do. So yeah, let's hear the Redtone now, okay? All right, so here's a Redtone, how that sounds like. again, the I don't know why it went back there, but yeah. So you just heard Redtone. Another great amp sim from Vadim Taranov. And I'm going to leave a link so you guys could go check out these amp sims if you don't already have them. They're excellent, and they're very cost effective as well. I think you could get them from anywhere from like $12 to $20, something like that. So yeah, man, you just heard how awesome they sound. And the reason why I showed you what I have on these tracks, so that nobody could come back to me and say, well, you know what, they sounded killer because you had all that crap running. They sounded killer, believe me or not. And again, I will never bullshit you guys. They sounded killer before I even put all those plugins on all these tracks. I just did that because, again, I'm kind of an asshole when I work in sessions and I have a real problem with VST plugins and I have to go full bore all the time. It's just my nature. No matter if I'm doing this or in my professional career, I gotta go full bore or else I don't do nothing. And again, that's an issue that I gotta live with. All right, let's move on. Let's go into this Fortin NTS. All right, so here's the Fortin NTS, right? Like I told you guys already, I have this hex drive engaged. Because without this engaged, it sounds like bullshit compared to Vadim's amps. It's like Vadim's amps are like kind of more brutal than this amp, believe it or not. And this costs a hell of a lot more money too. So yeah, I had the hex drive engaged. And again, the settings are pretty similar. I don't have this kill engaged because, you know, it wouldn't be fair. All these are running in stereo too, by the way, because I'm feeding 2 DI tracks into that guitar bus. And so that you know that the cab section is bypassed. Alright guys, so we're gonna hear this through the same IRs. So let's do that too. Yeah. So that, you know, is the Fortin NTS. What do you guys think about those 3 amps so far? They all sound pretty damn good, no doubt. So my takeaway from this first test is that the NTS has a little bit more depth to it. That's it. But that's nothing that you can't adjust with EQ and compressors and whatnot. But again, this cost a hell of a lot more than Blades or Redtones. And you guys just heard how Blades and Redtone sounds like. So, I mean, data doesn't lie. I always go by data. I always need data to be conclusive on whether or not something is good or not. I don't talk bullcrap. And I hate when people put me on the spot like that. I don't know what I'm talking about, because even though I'm not supposed to be getting mad about that, because that's how people are, man. You know what I'm saying? You guys know I enjoy doing this stuff. I love this stuff, you know. I eat, sleep, and you know, this stuff. So okay, I let you just hear Blades, Redtone, and the Fortin NTS with those IRs that I had running, you know, in that IR. So let me let you hear this section too. And this time I'm just gonna cycle through those amps, all right? So that I don't have to stop every time. So let's hear that real quick. I'm gonna start again with the I'm just gonna go Blades, Redtone, and then the NTS, all right? let you guys hear that. So let me start. Alright guys, so what do you guys think so far? You know what I'm saying? What do you think of Blades and Redtone and the Fortin NTS? They sound pretty damn close to me when I'm using those IRs. So you just heard what I said, when I use those IRs. The impulse response is 70%, if not more, of your tone makeup. You just heard the proof. I bet you I could even run another amp that's not even Vadim's amp, but a high gain amp, and I'll get similar results as well. But then you'll say, well, why do they have so many amp sims on the market? That's a really good question, ain't it? But I don't know. Why do they have so much roast beef on the market from different companies? It's a lot of it's marketing, guys. But it's how you use the plugins and how knowledgeable you are, you know, the mixing and mastering. No, I'm not saying don't go out and don't stop buying amp sims. That's not what I'm saying. Because everyone has their preference. Just like McDonald's and Burger King, they could be right next door to each other, and you would say, well, why the hell would two companies be right next door to each other and they sell the same shit? Because there's always going to be those people that like McDonald's and those people that like Burger King. Same thing with Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts. There's always going to be that person that has to have Starbucks, okay? And that's how this stuff is, guys. And I'm not gonna mention any names, any companies, any genre of music, because you guys already know where I stand with all that stuff. But it gets kind of silly after a while, don't you think? So the bottom line is, pretty much you need to use what makes you happy, okay? Because again, what sounds killer to you, it might not sound killer to somebody else, you know? So that's the point of this video, more or less. So now what I'm going to do, and I hope this doesn't fuck up, is I'm going to turn off this net IR, okay? So that's off now. Then I'm going to go into this Fortin NTS over here, right? And I'm going to freaking engage this cab section like this, right? So I try to mimic this cab section very close to the impulse responses that you just heard. So I'm running a condenser 184 mic on this side and a dynamic 906 on this side, right? One thing that I'm not sure of, maybe you guys know, leave a comment if you do. Oh, and by the way, if you like what I'm doing, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, because I love when you guys do that. Again, broken record, right? But you guys already know the drill. And a lot of yous already, you know, subscribed, and thank you for that. So, yeah, I hope it continues on this year, because I like to grow my channel even larger. Okay, and it makes me happy too. I just love it. So one thing that I do not know, what the hell are these speakers? You know what I'm saying? Is it just a graphics on the cab? Do they represent like a Celestian or a Demon speakers, a Mesa? What are they? Fender? What type of speakers are these? Because you know, and I'm not saying that if you knew what these were, it would make, you know, everything better. Because ask yourself this question, right? When you buy impulse response packs, do you even know if those impulse responses were made with, you know, those mics that they state that they're made from, or the speakers? I mean, unless you're there to witness that, that's all you could do is take people's word for it, right? But there's so many impulses that you could buy. You know what I'm saying? Take, for example, a vintage 30 loaded cab with, you know, 20 or so mics in different positions from company A, B, C, and D. Now, what makes one company stand out more than the other company, right? That I don't know, because I'm not an expert, you know, with making impulse responses. I just use impulse responses and I blend my own. But yeah, there's so many different companies that pretty much make the same impulses, but with their own little twist, right? But yeah, I don't know exactly all the, you know, differences. I just know that, you know, oversized Mesa cabinet, vintage 30, SM57 mic on one side, 121 on the other side, from company A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all these companies. So, but how come they sound different though, right? How can a vintage 30 with those mics in the same cab all sound different? You know what I'm saying? How? It's very strange to me. But nonetheless, I enjoy using them. You know what I mean? So it's what it is, I guess. All right. So let me shut up and let me play this cab section with Blades, Redtone, and then of course the NTS. So for this, I'm gonna go over here. Look, see, watch, boom. The amp's off, so I'm just using the cab section. Now I don't know why anybody would use an amp sim and load up an instance of another amp sim, whether it be this one or Mercurial or Brainworks that has like a cab IR section, and use it like that. Why would you not use a third-party impulse response loader like Nat IR, Pulse, Libra, and many other, Mix IR 3, Audio Salt, Air? Why would you not use those? Why would you load another amp sim just to use the cab section or the IR section? That's pretty silly. And it also kills your CPU too, if your computer's not fast. So you got to stop doing that. But again, you guys could do what you like, but I don't see any benefit in doing that at all. I think it's kind of silly, to be honest with you. Even running two different amp sims on, you know, your left and right, but running like 2 amp sims for your left, 2 amp sims for your right. I understand that people do that in, you know, real life, you know, with real amps. But again, I wouldn't do that with VST plugins. If you're gonna do that with only quad track, have 1 amp sim on each track, and then blend everything through a guitar bus. That's how I would do it, guys. That's how I think you should do it. But anyway, whatever. So I'm gonna engage this amp sim as well. See right here, I engaged it, but I only have the cab running. And let me go over here and turn this crap off too, right? So cab running, we're gonna hear the Blades and the Redtone, and then the Fortin amp. So let me go back over here, right? All right, Blades first. So that's the Blades using the cab section of Fortin NTS. Right away, I don't like that. I'd rather use the net IR like I already showed you. Sounds a lot better, I think. You know what I'm saying? But whatever. I'm just doing this video to just illustrate these things. But you guys could, you know, run however you like. Let me run this Redtone now, okay? See how that sounds. Right? Now I'm gonna go back over here and engage this amp. Right? In this hex drive again. And let you hear how this sounds with this configuration. Now, this configuration, I made that. That's why it says Geo amp testing on here. So you guys are not gonna have this in your Fortin NTS if you own it, because I just made this. So let you hear how that sounds. All right. So it's so apples to apples comparison, right, guys? So this is how that sounds. I mean, it doesn't sound too bad, but I like how it sounds with, you know, net IR loaded. Let's do this right here. Let you hear this and the other 2 amps, and I think this video is good to be done, right? So we're gonna hear this right here now, okay? Let's start off with this since I'm on it already. All right, time to turn this amp off and test out the Redtone. Let me go back. Let me make sure this bullshit's off too. See, I almost forgot. Because it's pretty late and I'm pretty tired with doing this damn video, but I had to do it. So, all right, cab section on, Redtone. Let's do this. Yeah, it made that screeching noise in the beginning because, like a dumbass, I didn't have the VST engaged for the cab section. All right, so this is Blades, all right? right, guys. So I think I showed you enough audio samples. And by the way, what you're hearing, you know, the audio of this video, it's a good idea to either listen to this through a good set of studio monitors or a decent set of headphones. Not a speaker from your phone, because that's gonna sound like bullshit. All right. Or if you have, I don't know, if you have a nice stereo in your car, you know, listen to it in there too through Bluetooth or whatever. But yeah, I just showed you a bunch of audio samples, and the audio that you hear is the true audio coming out of Reaper, because I'm capturing that in OBS. So yeah. So what amps, you know, which ones do you like the best? Do you like Blades, the Redtone? Do you like the NTS? Do you like all three? Do you like them better using the cab section in NTS? Or do you prefer running, you know, a third-party impulse response loader with impulses? How do you like to do that? What sounds good to you? And again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I hope you think I did a good job on this video as well, because it took me a really long time to do this. So I hope you guys watched this video, you know, the whole thing, and not just 2 minutes, and just say, oh, it's fucking Geo. He thinks the... Just watch the whole freaking video, and then leave me a comment, you know, to tell me what you thought of it, regardless if you think this sucks or not. All right, that's how I learn too. You know what I'm saying? And it's better for everybody that way. Constructive criticism is good. Being a dickhead, however, is not good. All right? So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. You know, again, I hope this year is better for you guys. I hope it's better for me as well. So until next time with another Amps and review or another topic like this, stay safe, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye and good night.